Welcome to Freaky Fauna Friday, where every Friday we take a little time and explore some of the freaks of nature from around the planet we cherish so deeply. So please, jump aboard and let's explore the wilds together.
Yes.
Welcome back to Freaky Fauna Friday.
I like hearing that pitter-patter of rain at the end of there.
I am the great and peaceful Mr. E,
And I'm just Jay.
and today we're here to talk about the worst animal ever.
Oh, ain't that just nice?
I've showed you a picture of this animal before. Do you not remember what we're doing today? I told you a couple days ago, but you may not remember.
No, I don't remember.
It's the worst animal ever.
Oh, a cat?
The Balearic Island cave goat.
No, I don't remember this.
Look,
Oh, are you sure we talked about this? 'Cause
pull up a picture of it. Just pull up a picture of cave goats.
I was going to say, literally, I feel like if we talked about cave goats, I think I would remember.
This animal is the whole reason, like one of the big ones I use to not believe in the whole theory of evolution.
Okay.
This thing evolved sideways and backwards.
Okay, what is it called? It's what? Cave goat?
Just type in cave goat.
I did, but...
You see the thing that...
Myotragus?
Yes.
Okay. What am I looking at?
The frontward facing eyes.
Oh, yeah.
It has a beak. We're going to get into the weird stuff.
I don't see the beak.
It's on this. We'll talk about it. All right, focus.
They look
Horrid.
friendly.
They're not.
I mean, they look like they're smiling.
They have predator eyes.
What? That's not a predator eye. That's just a friendly old
I can't say what that looks like on here, but we talked about it in Patreon off air the other night.
uncanny valley.
Like if you were, we'll talk about it. Okay.
Okay.
Now put the pictures down and we'll talk about it.
All right.
The Balearic Island cave goat, or Marius tagus, as you called it.
Yeah.
So their height was about 50 centimeters. Their weight got up about 70 kilograms. They're from the Paleocene into Holocene, which is, they just went extinct about 5,000 years ago.
So they're probably still around.
No,
Oh.
these things are horrid. The cave goat was a species of the subfamily Capra, which lived on the islands of Marcaria and Marcinia until its extinction around 5,000 years ago. The fossil records indicate that the islands extend over 5 billion years back for this species present. Whether its presumed arrival of humans represented the sequence of this ancestral animal going away. So we're going to break this down. There's not like a fun facts thing about this. I'm just going to tell you the fun facts, and we're going to talk about how awful this animal is.
Okay.
It was the only mammal on its island.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
The island only had reptiles and invertebrates and this goat.
Okay. Where is this island at?
You have to look it up. I don't remember.
How do you spell it again? It's just because I don't think I can spell that.
Majorca.
Majorca. That was Spain.
There you go. So these little goats, these little monsters, have more relationship. They are more common or more similar to crocodiles than any mammal.
Okay. That's weird. Convergent evolution?
No. I want you to understand what I just said. They have more in similarities. They're more close to crocodiles
Right.
than any mammal alive today.
Well, somebody has to have that moniker, so this is the one.
This is the worst animal.
Someone's got to be closest to crocodiles.
So let's talk about it. These were herbivores, kind of.
Okay.
They were like small goat sized, like not huge goats, medium sized goats. They had frontward facing human like eyes.
Yeah, that's interesting.
They had binocular vision.
Is that what we have?
Yes.
Okay.
They had frontward facing, they had man like faces, they had stubby faces. They had a gigantic tooth on the bottom of the jaw and a gigantic tooth on the top of the jaw that made a giant beak inside their mouth.
Ouch.
They were more like a giant rodent with these two teeth that continually to grow their whole life.
Yeah, like a beaver.
Yeah. But they look like a beak off of a dinosaur.
Yeah, okay. That's pretty interesting.
They were herbivores. They just weren't good at it.
Okay.
One of their favorite foods were the skulls of other cave goats.
Okay.
While there's no proof they ever killed one another, one of their favorite things to eat were bones of each other, specifically the skulls. Tons of cave goat dens were found with dead remains of other not like cave goats that didn't live there, with the skulls missing and bone fragments of the skulls. These things, we don't know if they wanted the calcium or if they like chewing on it to sharpen their teeth.
Maybe, broke their teeth down like the like beavers do with trees.
Yeah, but just each other's skulls.
Well, you need something. If you're
Only mammal.
Yeah, if you're the only mammal, maybe you need a mammal skull.
We're not even to their freakiest fact yet.
Oh.
So frontwards facing eyes, they had beaks. So imagine if you're an early explorer to this islands, okay?
Yeah.
You see these guys from a distance, right?
Like goat.
They look like goats.
Yeah. Like, oh, cute goat.
Like a goat, yeah. And you get up to it, and it rounds the corner, and it looks at you, and it has a man's face, and it opens its lips.
Yeah, it's the
and
eyes.
it has a beak.
The eyes are inviting.
People. No, they're not. These things look like a monster coming out of of a dark alley to get you.
It does look like
a predator.
Yes, I was gonna say like a human wearing a goat mask. Like,
Yes,
but
yeah,
you know
yeah,
how
yeah.
your eyes are still like.
Yeah, it looks like a guy coming to really do harm to you.
Yeah.
I don't want to say what I think. Like, I've called this thing something, and I don't want to say it on the show.
It's not.
But you know what I'm saying. It looks like that.
Yes.
Okay? Awful creatures.
Toot and Timmy.
They're extinct. So, they make no sense. They are so bad that it looks like most paleontologists and biologists agree these are the only mammal that went back to being cold-blooded.
Oh, really? Really?
I'll read the last little line I have. Bone histology of these creatures shows laminal zone tissues through the cortex, a feature otherwise only typical to reptiles, cold-blooded animals. The growth of these bones are unlike any other mammal and are extremely similar to that of crocodilians. This shows slow and adaptive rates of growth, intermediate ceasing growth altogether. No other mammal does this or has done this as far as we know. A true mammal we're talking about.
Right.
They reach stamic maturity by about 12 years old. The pattern of growth indicates that these animals, the same way as extinct reptiles, adapt their metabolism to changing food and water availability in abundant temperatures in the wild. These were cold-blooded mammals with beaks
and frontward facing eyes.
So these are almost always binocular vision is only found in predators.
Oh, really?
Yes, frontwards facing eyes.
Yeah.
Well, you can focus. Exclusively predators. Even look at birds. The birds that have it are predators. When you look at macaws, which are intelligent, it doesn't mean they're not intelligent.
Right.
Like elephants and stuff like that. They still have their eyes on the side of their head.
Right.
So you get a bigger range of vision.
To look out for the predators.
So, yeah. So these were quite small in size. Like you said, legs, they had a hunch body.
Okay.
The wrong way.
Okay.
So they had a lot shorter legs than most, and they were a lot less flexible than any other goat. So they didn't have any goat thing. Goats are known for climbing on a 82 degree
sides of
angle.
mountains, yeah.
These guys, their bones didn't turn very well. Their legs were short and stubby. They weren't flexible. They fell off cliffs to their death constantly.
I wonder what happened. Like how they...
Oh, we'll talk about why they went extinct.
Oh, I meant how they got to be this kind of creature to fill this whatever niche they're filling.
This, like I said, why I don't believe in the whole theory of evolution.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't... Like I said, these guys have evolved sideways and backwards.
Yeah.
Not good. So yeah, the answer is a serious problem for these guys that they were not flexible. There were no predators on these islands except for birds of prey, for which they probably hid in the vegetation from when they were small. On their shoulders were a prominent and pronounced hump, with the back was bent in at the hindquarters. They had an S shape to them.
Right, yeah.
Their hips were pushed up into their belly. Their neck etched back up. They look like they're a goat with scoliosis.
Are these created in a lab? And they got left here?
Their legs, unlike any other aerodactyls, had 4 fingers, which most only had 2, but these guys only had 2 to walk. Or no, they had 4 fingers to walk. Most only have 2. They're super just odd. They don't fit anything else in their anatomical category.
Right.
Yeah, so their lower jaw contained two permanent growing incisors, much like rodents. But no other ungulates have this. So they're not goats, not their families, ungulates.
Right. Are these guys like even actually in the goat family?
Genetically, yes.
Okay. That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Like, or is it just something else?
Their lower jaw usually lacked incisors altogether, though some jaws have been found to have vestigial second premolars adapted for crushing vegetation matter.
And skulls.
Yeah. Their nose was very short in comparison to the rest of their skull, similar to those of rabbits and hares. They had a very mushed, flat face. Finally, both sexes on the top of their head had short horns. It's possible these horns were longer, having short bone bases and long curved horns. We've never found a horn casing. So most people don't understand, like, the horn you see, there's like a bone root inside of it.
Right.
And then the horn grows outside like a shell. Almost.
Gotcha. Like a fingernail.
So we don't really know how their horns work because we never found a horn because they probably ate them all.
Yeah. Maybe that's what they were chewing on.
Oh, no, they'd eat those in the skull. And,
right, yeah.
And you.
Well, anything will eat you if you're laying there still long enough.
So when the first settlers got to the island, they tried to domesticate them for a minute. And then they went extinct really fast after.
Okay.
These scoliosis, front-facing, beaked, cold-blooded goats. They tried to domesticate.
That sounds like easy thing to take care of in the backyard.
Nobody knows why they went extinct.
I have an idea.
There's several leading theories. I'll give the scientific ones, and then I want to hear yours.
Oh, I was just gonna say, is it because they were S-shaped, frontward-facing,
horrible monsters?
Yeah, cold-blooded goats. Is that why?
Inbred, just disease-ridden, horrible things.
Yeah. Inbred, disease-ridden.
horrible things.
Just adding all this extra.
I'm not adding anything.
No, well, I mean, inbred, okay, I can see that because they're, but
no, the islands are big. They probably weren't inbred. Genetically they were pretty substantial. So some people think they went extinct due to people, like most island animals went extinct due to people coming on the island. Even though people tried to domesticate them,
right? And then they probably got tired of them and just shot them all.
Yeah, it was 5,000 years ago. They probably beat them to death with sticks, but a hatchet.
Once you get bit by a beaked goat. All right, where's the baseball bats?
Imagine getting bit by that thing. I really imagine the first settlers coming to the island and seeing goats up on the mountain and be like, "Oh, cool, goats! You know, we have goats at home."
And then you get there and they look at you.
This thing comes around the corner with a man's face, and it lifts its lips and there's a beak. I'm
trying to think, I feel like
it has the wrong number of toes.
Yeah,
and a big S. Like it's hard for me to explain. Its hips turned into its belly.
Right.
It had a hump on its back. Its front legs cowered in, and it had a long curved S neck with a human's face and a beak.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know what I'd say to that thing when I seen it. Hey.
Like, this island's hell. We accidentally found hell. So, why it went extinct? Some people think the domestication effort failed. They just wiped them out really fast. Humans do that. It happens on island species constantly. Another one is rats. Like, that's another big one, is that they were the only mammal on their island, so there was no diseases, so they think that diseases from other mammals wiped them out.
Very well, yeah.
Also that they were cold-blooded. They are extremely slow-moving due to ambient temperatures, so that rats and other new predators could have killed them much easier.
Yeah, once they got there.
Yeah. A big leading theory is that they ate poison to death.
Okay. They ate poison to death.
And then died.
Where does the poison come from?
A plant species the natives that the people brought in with them.
Oh, okay.
It seems like these had no receptors to detect anything poisonous because there were no poisonous plants on the island.
Exactly, yeah. Probably didn't need to.
So they probably ate this plant and then all died.
Okay, yeah, probably. That's a very simple solution. And usually
I've made jokes that these are the horrible animals. They're very unique. I mean, I wish they were still alive.
Yeah, they're really cool. Like, I wouldn't mind,
I'm making jokes about them being horrible. It's just that literally they don't follow any rule.
Yeah, it's weird.
It would be really cool to see slow-moving lizard, bird, goats in zoos.
Maybe they still... Wait,
we could remake them.
I was just going to say that. What's that, Colossus?
Yeah.
Remake the cave goat with this human face.
There were some stories of them still being around until 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Of people finding them in caves, in the mountains, really high up.
Well, it's probably human beings that got turned into cave goats after.
and they would just literally describe them as monsters because they had really rough. Like the picture you've seen is not right.
No,
for their hair.
Those are like all like nice photos.
They had really long,
like wiry,
nasty, wiry hair.
Yeah,
they kind of could. Some people think they could stand up and look like a guy for a minute.
That's weird.
So they kind of, like you said, if you were on the bottom of the mountain, looked up, they look like a guy wearing a goat.
Yeah, which I'm not convinced they weren't.
Aren't these just the weirdest animals?
That's what these are. They didn't go extinct. They never existed. There was people in hiding. And finally someone caught on to them. And like, guys, we got to move out because they're trying to make us live in their pens now. They figured out how to live free.
I've been trying to milk this goat.
Yeah.
It's a guy.
That's why he's hanging. That's why they hung around for so long. And then they're like, all right. They're trying to impregnate us now. And
what do you think of this thing? Like, what do you think about these things?
They're weird. They are weird.
Freaky Fauna.
I am almost convinced it may have been a lost tribe of people.
I'm going to say these are probably the freakiest vertebrates on the planet.
Ungulate, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Just they don't make, like, cold-blooded. You imagine just...
Let's make a campaign to bring him back. The Colossus.
But
you think we can do it?
Stereoscopic vision, yeah. Stereoscopic vision, that's that gives them their weird look.
Yeah.
It's almost exclusively found in predators and primates.
Well, maybe at one point they became the predator being on that island for so long. Like they just became the predator lizards, and it's like slowly being isolated on this island.
So the theory is, and maybe I didn't explain it right from being goofy, is that so why ungulates mostly have the eyes on the side of their head, why most herbivores have the side of their head, is because they're being hunted.
Right, exactly.
So you can see. It may be not exclusive to predators to hunt to have the telescopic vision.
Yeah.
Maybe because they're not being hunted as much.
Right, yeah. They just might be the top dog. And
when they weren't being hunted, it may have been more prominent to be able to have depth perception.
Right.
Especially when you're not good at climbing like every other goat.
Yeah.
Their closest living relatives are ovis, which are goats.
Okay.
Stuff like the ibex, which is the bighorn mountain goat in the Himalayas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That are literally the ones that you see like on dams.
Right, yeah.
Like climbing up nothing.
A straight wall.
Like, yeah.
A concrete straight slab. Yes, they're climbing them.
That's their closest living relative. Yeah. A goat. Like a real goat.
I mean, I guess if you isolate an island for like, whoever knows how many years, you put one mammal on it.
They said 5 million years ago is when they got to the island.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense for me because a lot of crazy evolution happened in a very short period of time.
Yeah.
Including the loss of being warm-blooded.
Right. Yeah. So weird. It's a very weird...
Which is, as far as I know and I could find, it is the only time it's ever happened for a mammal. A lot of cold-blooded animals have adapted to be warm-blooded. It's a much easier transition.
Yeah.
Because it's just calorie intensive.
Yeah.
It's really hard to go back.
This may be an episode we hand over to the DW guys to see if there's something else going on here with these cave goats. Their origin story.
Yeah?
Maybe. I don't know. It's something weird.
Is it?
I think so.
Oh, there you go.
This is just the result of what happens when a goat is the apex predator animal on an island.
Too long. If you're the only mammal, this is what happens.
A goat.
Imagine if it was a guy.
Well,
they may have been guys, and now they look like goats.
Yeah, exactly. It turned into goats.
It may have been big lizards.
Lost tribe.
I would almost rather believe that.
Lizard turned into a goat?
That looks, yeah. Like, everybody, you can look up the pictures of these animals, like the reconstructions and stuff. It's not what they look like.
Yeah.
It's not, like, I couldn't find a really good one, like, to show the S-curve of their spine.
Yeah.
There's one anatomically, like, animated skeleton that shows how they stood.
Yeah.
And it looks like they are severely diseased.
Yeah. They probably are. It's like the House of Asher.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Goats go, bah, and cry and stuff. I think this thing went, bah.
Bah.
You'd know, like, real quiet and, like, bah.
I don't know.
Like, hateful. You got to have more hateful, but quiet in it. Because they're cold-blooded. They don't have energy.
Oh, gotcha. Especially
on a horrible island.
They need coffee in the morning.
I think the next biggest animal was like the size of a mouse.
Okay.
Or a little lizard. Not good animals.
Yeah, they were the top dogs. Is this what happened when goats become the top dogs?
Yeah, it's not good.
Not good. It's not meant to be.
It's not meant to be.
That's why we came
like
in
hell pigs. Pigs can do it.
That's why we wiped them all out. It's because we realized, oh, this ain't the natural order of things.
Imagine if you had farmed goats on the mainland and you were so excited. You're like, oh, they got goats.
Yeah.
Like, we can farm these things because you can't bring them on the boats with you. So like, it's so super good.
It's like the
and then
closer
you
you
try to
get-
get them to breed, but they're like, they crawl around in the pens, like super slow
Yeah.
on cold days. Like at night, they don't move.
What's wrong with them?
Like, this thing's like,
Seen the fainting
you
goats.
can like push them over.
Never mind. I was gonna make a joke.
All right. What's your words of wisdom for the weekend? Don't be a cave goat.
Don't be a cave goat and go out. And if you got a cave near you, go explore it. Get out in nature. It's hot out.
If you
Find some shade. Put your toes in the grass.
If you find one of these things in a cave near you, just don't tell anybody.
Domesticate it.
Just leave it be.
Don't forget, water your plants. They need drinks too every day, just like your animals. It's hot out there, so
take care of your animals.
feed them, water them, and
Don't trust cats.
don't trust cats. Trust dogs.
I've been the great and peaceful mystery.
And I've been Jay.
We'll catch you next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Freaky Fauna Friday. If you want to help the podcast grow, remember to share and give it a 5-star review.